So Clay, Star Trek, Discovery, and Picard released their teasers for their latest seasons. And here we are 6 months later to talk about it, just so no one can accuse us of harvesting clicks. But we're going to talk about the teasers because I've had ample time to watch them. I've watched them at least twice each. They're about a minute long. I'll link them in the video description down below. But
well, that's no small amount of time. You have 3 children and a brand new baby, so
yeah, no. I'm looking for podcasts I can listen to now that are like 15 seconds long. Just give me that micro burst of information. My favorite podcast now is actually a weather podcast that comes out and it's about 30 seconds long each day. And I'm like,
it's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain. Yeah, so let's talk about the teasers here. They're both about a minute long. Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Discovery. Which one do you want to start with? I guess I'll preempt this. Maybe that'll help decide. I put up a poll on YouTube, and 100 and some odd people responded to it. I said, which one are you more looking forward to, Discovery's 4th season or Picard's 2nd season? Which one do you think won?
Picard.
What was the ratio? What percent voted for Picard?
65%.
75.
Ooh.
So it's even more. 75. 3 out of 4 voted for Picard. Do you want to talk about Picard or do you want to talk about Discovery's teaser first? And this is not just the teaser. This is like our thoughts about the upcoming season and stuff like that, which is related to it.
If Picard's what's getting people's attention, we may as well start with Discovery just to make everybody sit through the entire show.
We can start with Discovery. Discovery's teaser came out. New uniforms, new season.
Yep.
Fear in working together. What did I wrote it down. Not in this alone is a quote from it. We're being torn apart, face fear together, or some of the chirons that come up on it.
Is this a Journey song?
Those lyrics?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I printed out the Journey lyrics.
Those are just the lyrics to Separate Ways by Journey, I think.
You're
Here we stand, worlds apart, hearts broken in two. Alistair
was asking what that song actually meant, and this is it. My takeaway from the Discovery one, we've talked about this on the Discord a little bit, it's exactly like every other season to Discovery to this point. So, what say you to that? Would you agree or disagree? Good, bad, the ugly?
The uniforms look nice. I don't know. Discovery is such a strange beast to me because, like, let me take this back. I was going to say Discovery is such a strange beast because they always tend to get me at least interested to watch it. Like, I was interested in season 3 because of the time jump and stuff like that. And usually they hook you with something. Like in season 2, I think the first trailer they gave you a snippet of Pike or something like that, and the old uniforms and whatnot. I don't know about this one. There's not really anything grabbing me except for the new uniforms.
I don't think they say what the antagonist is. They say there's some kind of quantum gravity singularity that's like 5 light years across and it's destroying everything. And
maybe they're going back into the Expanse to chase down the Xindi.
I actually wrote that down in my note. They make it sound like it's an Enterprise anomaly from the 3rd season that we're covering. It's just a bigger version of it.
That's the thing. Like, I am so ready to just smash the continuity. Like, you could figure out ways to do it. There's always some bullshit reason you could do it. I am dying for them to do something like that would just at least make me go, oh, okay, cool. This is kind of fun. But, like, I don't know.
This teaser does not have fun. This teaser does not have fun all over it.
No, it's like the teaser feels like a bunch of people backstage holding hands, saying how much they love each other before they go out for the opening show. Yeah. And I don't know how many times you can go back to that well, man. It's just
this is the 4th season like of Discovery doing that.
If you were in the cast of Oklahoma at the local regional theater, and every single, maybe they do this, I don't know, I never did regional theater or I've never been in a play, so maybe they do this, but if every single night the director gave the exact same speech to get you psyched up and talk about how this cast is actually a family, except for you, who actually is not going to be in the show. I'm going to be playing your part.
Yeah. Your stand-ins not included here.
I don't know how many times you can go back to that well before you just start going, okay, all right, yep, okay, yep, they're a family up. Oh, they got to stick together. Cool.
Fear will tear us apart.
Fear is the mind killer.
Yep.
I don't know, man.
It's a bad teaser, I think. It's interestingly bad. To me, it just strikes me as it's every single previous season of Discovery. It's like a vague description of every single season of Discovery that we've had so far. They don't show you anything interesting, and it looks exactly the same. There's a reliance on action and explosions and Burnham looking sad and a lot of people looking sad.
She kept the haircut though. I like the braids.
Kept the haircut, yeah. And she was pregnant during it, obviously, which is
why they gave the uniforms a little bit more bagginess down by the waist.
A little billowy when you're standing up.
I gotta say, seeing the cast in classic colors is nice. Mm-hmm. I do appreciate. I don't love the move to take the colors away that they did, like they did in. It made sense in Enterprise. It makes some sense in Discovery, but less sense than it did in Enterprise.
Yeah,
especially when in season 2 they show up with the colors anyway. For so it is nice to see some color back, especially because everything else in the show, while it does look great, is kind of samey color wise.
It's all blue and a lot of blue and oranges mixing together. Yeah, the uniforms aren't going to save this. Like I'm really not looking forward to Discovery season 4, and it's coming out before Picard season 2, to the detriment of everyone who voted in that poll. It's
we might single-handedly get the entire fan base to turn on the show just because it's another thing in our way from doing Voyager.
It's true, yeah. And it's a horrible thing too. It's not like it's some exciting, interesting adventure that you're going to go on. It'll probably come into more clarity with the Picard teaser, but I think the Discovery teaser just fails because it made me not interested in the season whatsoever. It's like I was really struck by it's just so similar. It's exactly the same thing. It's sort of vague platitudes. It didn't offer an antagonist that I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It's the worst kind of antagonist possible. It's another galactic universe destroying blob thing. And they didn't show me any. There was not a single moment in the Discovery teaser where I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's fun. Look at that thing. It was just all the same. And we can move into Picard if you want after that. Picard is the polar opposite of that to me, at least in terms of being a teaser.
Well, there was one thing I wanted to talk about quickly. I'm kind of scrubbing through it at 2x speed here just to see if I'm right. Is there no Saru in this trailer?
No, he is. He's standing at a console.
Oh, he is. Okay. Okay, that's good. Because I don't know what we would do.
I forgot he's on Canamar or whatever right now, leading Sakal back home.
Yeah, he's hanging out with the sad guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, at least he's in the show.
He is.
Hopefully, it's not going to be like.
Doug Jones had been tweeting about being on set and stuff like that too.
Oh, okay.
So he's up there. He's still a main cast member.
Hopefully, it's not going to be like James Hurley in season 2 of Twin Peaks, where he has a completely separate storyline that actually has nothing to do with anything and just wastes time. But
we wanted that for Burnham in the 3rd season. Maybe Burnham should not be with the crew of the Discovery for a little while.
Yeah, who knows?
Anyway, we can bump into the Picard one. The Picard one, just as a teaser, is a much better teaser than the Discovery teaser.
Yeah, well, I mean, the literal card that they play at the end of it is about as good as you can get for if you want to get people excited. Even
before that, at least the voiceover and the lines Stewart are reading are vague but semi-interesting levels of vague, which is that time, like the decisions that you make in the moment turn out to be history. That's a good line. That's a decent line from things. I say that to the people bagging the groceries every time I go shopping. His line's about regrets and second chances, and it's a time travel theme. It's a lot of lines about time, and then Q has this thing at the end about the trial never ends. But just in the construction of a teaser, showing me memories of Picard, the memories of the show, with like little iconography of like stuff from DS9 and then the chip in the bottle and all the other things that you recognize as Picard Star Trek-y stuff, and to have him talking about memories and time travel, not time travel, but time, it's a good teaser. That's a teaser right there. That's not Discovery's level of teaser. What do you think about that? What do you think about the upcoming season of Picard?
I was just imagining that the things about memory and whatnot is them being like, and hopefully you will not remember that Picard is actually a robot man with Picard's brain. No, I think it's good. You know, what's really interesting about these things now is the dialogue, though it's good, the dialogue in these trailers, and I feel like this is a problem across a lot of these different franchises, is so similar that I legitimately don't know if it's just reused stuff from old seasons.
Okay.
Like the Discovery one, I feel like you could have just clipped out dialogue from any handful of episodes from season 1 and 2, and you would get the same thing across. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell.
Right. So not just across franchises. You mean just older versions of this? Of the shows are inert and not changing, so that you can't tell if something's new or not.
Yeah, and like there's so much of everything now that it's tough to see unless you see, especially when they do it in like voiceover like this, unless you see someone actually saying it.
Sure.
I find it difficult sometimes to know whether or not they're using a quote from a previous movie to, you know, lean into a point of the new thing. Like I feel like they've done that a few times in like maybe like the Marvel movies or something, where or the Star Wars movies, where somebody says something and it's like, oh, that's a cool line. They're like, yeah, it's actually what Luke says in the middle of Empire Strikes Back. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So I think that being said, I guess my point is that it's good dialogue, but it is kind of samey. Yeah. I guess in Picard it's tough too, because if he starts talking about time travel or whatever, my first instinct is, oh, is this an old clip that they're using to,
right?
You know, and when at the end when he says that the trial never ends, I was like, was that a new line reading of that, or is that the clipped from All Good Things? I honestly,
All Good Things.
I think so.
Yeah, he might. Yeah,
that's like the only line of his that I know, so he must say it at some point. I'm hoping.
I get that point. Yeah.
My hope for season 2 of Picard, knowing that he says that and that Q is in it, is that it's remember like all of those things Michael Chabon was saying like he wished they could do in the first one, where it was just Picard like wandering around the grape fields. Yeah. Hopefully it's just Picard and Q in like a My Dinner with Andre situation, but they're back at the beginning of human life in those like little amoeba ponds. Yes. Yeah. And they're just kind of hanging out talking for 6 episodes. I would love that.
That would be good. I'd be down for that. I'd be down for Q and Picard just talking to each other. Written by whoever. I forget. It's a new showrunner this year for Picard. It's not Chabon, but he's serving as some sort of consultant or something. I just think that there's a semblance of poetry in the Picard dialogue, Picard readings, that is not in Discovery, because Discoveries are like the lamest fortune cookie stuff. It's like fear will tear you apart, and it's like, okay, good for this. Picard's at least seems thematic. They could always blow this, but I'm way more interested in Picard's second season than Discovery's fourth season.
Oh, sure.
At this point.
Yeah. As much as I didn't like the first season of Picard, I feel like, as illustrated by these 2 trailers, you've got more interesting things potentially at play here than you do in Discovery. Yeah. Just based off these. Yeah, it's another... we talked about when we did the movies, when Star Trek gets older, they always go to aging. It's like the movies... Right, yeah. Like 8 of the movies focused on getting older and moving on and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of repetition there. I do feel that with the age of Stewart now, it's a little bit of an easier sell for that. Like he's old at this point, so it comes through in his line readings and stuff too. He sounds older. Do you think we're gonna get The Irishman, but with Jean-Luc Picard, where it's 80-year-old Patrick Stewart with like digital blush on his face to make him look younger, quote unquote? Oh, yeah. I was thinking they would age them even more
And then Q in the first 5 minutes appears and snaps his finger, and they take away the CGI, so it reverts Stewart back to like where he is now.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do that more. Where they can't like pick someone who's like 40, where you're like it's still kind of a clean enough palette where you could easily make them look older, but also easily make them look younger.
Yeah, yeah.
Recast Captain Picard is what I'm saying.
Right. Focus the inflection point of the aging magic to a point where turning you into a normal person is the magic. You're like turning you into your face is the magic.
Exactly. Yeah. So you don't end up like Guy Pearce in Prometheus, where he's wearing like 8 pounds of prosthetic makeup for no reason. Anything
to avoid that. That's pretty much it. Any thoughts about you're more looking forward to Picard? I think you might have said at some point in the near past you were looking forward to Discovery more. Maybe I'm just misremembering, but
it's possible. I'm
not saying either of these are like unearthed Shakespeare works or something that we're anxiously awaiting. They both have a lot to prove. I have
I don't want to say anything
chance for Discovery.
I don't want to say anything that's not going to get me elected to public office later. Is what my point. Yeah.
Picard's got a 50% chance in my book of being an okay season. Discovery is like a 1% chance.
Yeah, I'm more excited about Picard. I would be curious to know if I said that before these trailers came out or not. It's possible that I didn't.
I think you might have. That would make sense.
In which case, post trailers, definitely Picard more. Not only because I love Q, although I know from being aware of this podcast that I'm on that Q doesn't have a lot of great episodes. But the ones that are
all about the idea
yes,
of Q.
The idea of Q is fantastic. And also they've got the new people behind the scenes. Mark Bernardin is a writer on it this season, and I like him a lot. I listen to him on Kevin Smith's podcast. He's a really smart guy, knows a lot about writing, and he and I tend to agree a lot, so I think that's probably why I like him so much. But
we'll see if it's the machinery that chews up the writers. Then I guess we'll get a look at his scripts and see what happens, or whether it's something else.
I did want to ask you about something in the trailer because I did not catch it at all because my depth of knowledge of Easter eggs and stuff is not as deep as most people's. Is there a Bajoran thing? Like a reference to the prophets in this trailer?
Yep.
Are we looking at a time orb situation here possibly?
You could be. I was thinking, if not the time orb, I think it's very likely that the prophets are involved in this season, potentially.
See? I'm totally down for that. Let's just throw it all in a bowl. Mix it all up. I don't give a shit.
Every god level alien was going to make an appearance in this season.
Yeah, why not? Bring in the Pa. If they turns out halfway through the season the villains turn out to be the Pa Wraiths, I'm going to just start clapping.
It's just going to be a Star Trek version of the Odyssey where Picard is just bumping into different gods.
That would be awesome. I would love that. That would be fantastic.
That would be kind of a good idea. Yeah, I would think it's unless. No, it's way too specific. I think that the prophets have a high likelihood of being in this season for whatever reason. They could do something zany like they're the Q. They just never told Cisco.
Sure.
Hopefully they don't do that. But I'd be down with an examination of every species that can do some kind of time travel thing.
Do you think what is the percentage chance that they're going to hit us with a Captain Cisco in this season?
3%.
3%? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's happening. I don't think. I haven't seen anything that would imply that. I hope they don't. Hope to God they don't do anything with Cisco. And I think he's too mercurial of an actor. I don't think he's down for coming back unless he's like in real financial dire straits or something. But I think he teaches at this point. So, would you want to see a Captain Cisco?
I don't. Sure, why not?
DS9 is I don't want to be too highfalutin here, but DS9 is the one series that they haven't touched yet, and it's like I don't want it to be just left alone.
Yeah, because as you were talking about that, I was like, ooh, good. I mean, they brought back 7 of 9, she didn't have anything to do with Picard, like outside of this show. So why? But they did it anyway. If they start talking about the prophets, could we maybe see Kira or something?
Yeah, well, there's a weird dividing line. If the prophets are in this, I'm okay with that, sort of. I just don't want to see the characters in this season. I just don't think that that's right. But the prophets are just an abstract way to deliver a plot, basically. So I don't mind them.
That my favorite abstract way to deliver a plot. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're going to give me the prophets, give me something else to go with it.
Like they've been working on their new modernization of the prophet scene, where everyone is just standing in gold sepia tones talking to Cisco, and then it cuts between the characters as they say different things. I'm fine with that. All right, so that's it for the trailers for Discovery and Picard. I'm looking forward to Picard more than Discovery. I think Clay is the same. Both of them have a lot of work to earn our respect and love. That's it. Anything else about these teasers? No.
Nothing so far on Strange New Worlds, huh? There's no images or anything.
No teaser. No.
Yeah.
I don't think I know when that's supposed to come out. Lower Decks and Discovery are 2021. Picard is 2022. I don't know about Strange New Worlds. Where would you rank that in the trifecta? You can put Lower Decks in there too.
I'm probably most excited for Lower Decks.
Yeah,
because it's the best thing they've done so far. I would, if it's tough because I feel like it would be Lower Decks, Picard, Strange New Worlds, Discovery. But Picard was such a letdown the first season that I kind of am tempering my expectations.
Yep.
Despite all of these new elements they're bringing in.
Yep.
I guess I would probably say Strange New Worlds would be second, just because it's unknown at this point, and I like the Enterprise. So.
Yep. I would do the same. I'd reverse the two. I'd say Strange New Worlds just because I'm more interested in that than the animated stuff, but Lower Decks is the proven commodity. I would say Strange New Worlds, then Lower Decks, then Picard, then Discovery is my order of interest in the things that are coming out. After 2 episodes of Strange New Worlds, I have an idea of what that show is, though, and it might just quickly revert back to Lower Decks, so we'll see. That's it. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. We will see you later.